Hello friends, welcome back to Admissions Trustline. This is Mrs. Singh this side, assisting you with another interesting topic that we can talk on today. Now, everybody has a question. Ma'am, how do we face interviews together? How and what are the steps of facing an interview? Or what is the process of selection, if I say? Now, let me get down onto the process, but let me tell you something very clearly. Interview has to be perfectly according to the firm or the company that you're preparing for. Now, if I say one technical company that comes down for languages will obviously demand for the perfection in languages, and the other that comes down for technicals will look forward for your technical skills, not for your languages. Now, let us move on to the process of selection. How is it done into the companies? The first step is your screening. It may be the screening of your documents, it may be the screening of your certificates, your experiences, your qualification, and so on. It may be a face-to-face conversation, it may be a telephonic one, or something that you can detail them on the mail, LinkedIn, and so on. Then comes the first interview that has to be done. The first interview is the first face-to-face conversation with your interviewer. There you have to be very, very confident because that's the first impression. Now, that I say with first impression, I really mean to say the gestures should be very strong. You should be pretty polite. You should not move your hands or feet together. You should have an eye-to-eye contact with your interviewer. And yes, please try to make it very sure that the first round, or if I say the first interaction, is an impressive one. In the first round, or if I say first selection or the first meeting, you have 3-4 points. Now, if I talk about introduction, when you are asked for your introduction, please talk confidently about your name, your basic qualification, your eligibility as per the job. And yes, do not forget about fitting right into the best place that you are looking forward for. It falls down the interview questions that have to be dealt with. It may be a skill-based, your experience-based. It may be according to what position you've chosen. It may be an assessment of your actual degree skills or probably the qualities that you owe. Now, if I talk about the third thing, it'll be your questionnaire towards the organization. You may have questions as in how the working schemes go, or what are the basic things that are done in the organization. Probably the company that you're looking forward for, and you've applied for a position of product manager, but there they provide you only and only coding and decoding. Then I really don't think the position fits right to your place, right? In that regard, your questionnaire is pretty important to the firm. The last point in the first interview is concluding your interview. Make sure that you ask your interviewer, how was my performance, sir or madam? And yes, please give a firm shake hand before you leave, and the eye-to-eye contact is not to be forgotten. The third thing, the third point of selection process. Now, if I say it is the second interview, once that you've cleared the first one, they'll remind you and call you back again to have your technical rounds, because they need to assess the demo of what you have actually learned. Probably it may be only into your resume, but not into your skills. So you have to be very sure whatever you put down into your resume is perfectly noted and yes, is a perfect skill in you. The fourth step then is the third interview, wherein there'll be this team of entire board of directors, the managers, the supervisors, or the HRs who'll sit together to finalize whether you fit right to the place or not. And then the final decision awaits. The final decision, or let me say the last step that has come down. Either you are rejected or you are selected. Now, the process is all closed here. But what I mean to say at the end is not how to face an interview. But please, yes, do not forget, the interview has to be a very confident one. When you start, when you say, when you have a handshake, everything needs to have an eye contact. And yes, when you face an interview, do not forget your skills are to be kept in mind. To know more about admissions, interviews, placements, courses, or confusions about any of them, you can contact us, DM us. And yes, do not forget to subscribe, like, and share.